on building energy and being professional. Now, unfortunately, this video will probably not be very professional because I have hardly pre-scripted the structure of it. But the first part of the video is about building energy. And so what a thought that came to my mind sometime around last week was that one way to improve my YouTube videos is to, one, show up with more energy in them, and then two, as a result of that, in order to do that I also need to become a person who just generally has more energy. And so I was thinking about how I could build more energy in my life. And I think there are two main categories that you can think about, but I have to warn you, they are both pretty rough sketches and it's like not a very good plan with that many good specific actions. But anyways, this is what my mind is currently on regarding how to build energy. And so the first thing, or the first category, is basically just having certain good habits and being consistent with them. And I think that the most important habits and the most important things that I can improve on right now are sleeping well, which is essentially two things. First, to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every single day, which over time will definitely give you a good rhythm to life, and I think will make you more stable and more energetic. And then the second part, which is something that I am currently absolutely not doing, is also sleeping enough. And I think the number that gets thrown around a lot is 8 hours. And at least that is like the amount of time with which I have felt pretty good consistently. And right now I'm doing 7 hours of sleep. And I'm also not that consistent with it, but I'm at least working on the consistency. I'm just thinking right now that my thoughts and what I say is pretty unfocused again. Maybe because I'm not sleeping enough. Yeah, so that's definitely the first one, to just sleep well and to have a regular sleep schedule and to stick to it with iron will. And then the next thing I think that's very good as well is doing NoFap. And then the next thing is eating healthy. And then the thing that I'm not really doing that I think can really increase your energy ridiculously is simply being very physically active. Because there's this saying that I read somewhere which said like that essentially expending energy creates energy. And I think definitely in terms of physical pursuits, that's kind of true, because I think when you are very physically active, it makes your mind more energetic. And this is again something that I have deduced in a way, I think, from David Goggins, because he's doing lots of exercises. He's doing lots of exercise every single day. And I think he's a pretty energetic person in the sense that he really attacks life with all his force. And I don't think he could keep up all the things that he's doing if he wasn't so physically active and if he wasn't extending energy so much. And I think that's really the real key thing that I have to change in my life in order to become more energetic, is to do more hard physical activities. So that's the first thing, which is basically the first category, which is basically habits. And then the second category is more abstract. And I think that also things that you can, or that like principles that you can follow in order to become more energetic is discipline, which really means that you do things consistently. And then I think when you do things consistently every single day, it creates a certain sense of momentum and energy. But again, this is not very well thought out. And then the second thing I think that creates energy is also sacrifice. So when you have a goal and you give up things that hold you back from your goal, then after sacrificing those things, you can move towards that goal with more focus and with more energy. And then the third thing, and I think that's again the biggest thing for me, is commitment. And the way that I kind of think I can implement this into my life is by committing to a certain headspace and to seeing everything through a certain framework. And the framework that I want to build is one where basically everything that happens I see as a source of energy. And so the two biggest things are, when you have a big success, you want to use that as a source of energy, essentially to do the things that you're already doing with more energy. And then if you have experienced failure, you also want to convert that into energy in order to push yourself harder. And then this comes arguably back to the thing I talked about, the topic that I talked about in yesterday's video, which is like the tension between committing to doing something and then changing your way if you realize something does not work. Because with failure, it's like, I think you can become pretty powerful by using failure as fuel to do the things that you are already doing with more energy. But then again, it might also be the case that you should have used that failure as a reminder to reflect and to change your approach to things. And for me, I think I am changing definitely in the past, I have been changing my approach way too many times. And goddamn, I'm paying for it now. And so what I think I have to do is I have to commit to a certain set of actions, and then I don't think it's that complicated, because what I was thinking before was that I would have to create like some very smart framework in order to use failure as fuel. But what I really think it is you just have to fully commit to a certain set of actions, and then when you experience failure, instead of changing what you do based on that failure, you use that failure in order to like create energy in yourself, and then do the things that you've already been doing with more energy and focus. And so this is something that I have never before done in my life, and it kind of makes me a bit excited right now, even though you can probably not tell from the outside. And it is something that I will experiment with, and I will then give you a video. No, I won't give you a video. That's the bad formulation. I will then make a video sometime where I talk about my experiences. But knowing myself, it will probably take some time until I fully get around to committing to certain actions and then using real failures to fuel the energy that I put into these actions. And then it will take some more time for me to, well, just stick to it for a certain amount of time. So that video is probably a rather big amount. It's probably still quite ahead in the future. So yeah, but this was the first part, which was creating energy. And I think that's not too bad. So really, when you break it down, it's really 1, be disciplined, and 2, use every situation as fuel to do the things that you are already doing with more energy. And then the underlying lesson is to just, or the underlying principle is to just commit to a certain set of actions. Okay, I actually already fucking forgot what the second part of the video was supposed to be about. So this is it for today.